Ahoy lads, Sam here. I had some good feedback on the last video, so I am going to continue this series, and I wanted to talk about something that was asked in the comments about build making. I feel like that's going to be important to understand if you're getting into PvP, even for a beginner. The gameplay I have here, starting off in the middle of it, is soul level 41 at Cleansing Chapel. Starting off with the very beginning of the game, one of the things a lot of people don't know is that at High Wall of Lothric in Undead Settlement, if you don't summon a phantom, if you're just a solo host, you don't summon anybody. I'm not sure if summoning a dark spirit would count, but if you don't summon anybody, you'll never get invaded there without going further into the game. So just to clarify, if you don't summon a phantom at High Wall of Lothric or Undead Settlement, you will not be invaded. You could sit there for hours, Ember, and you won't be invaded. All right, going back into making a build though for that sort of area, if you make a low-level build designed for High Wall of Lothric, Undead Settlement, or even Crucifixion Woods, you're you're probably making what's known as a twink build, and that means that is a build with late game gear for the early game. That sort of stuff is it's not really fair for the host, to be honest. Some people enjoy pub stomping hosts at that level. I personally don't. But if you're going to make a build around that level, at high wall, you're going to be soul level 20 with a +1 weapon. Uh, the level that your weapon is at also does affect your matchmaking. I'll talk a little bit more about exactly what matches with what later, but uh, High Wall of Lothric, you look at soul level 20 +1. Undead Settlement isn't much different. Soul level 22 +1. Crucifixion Woods, soul level 30, +2. Cleansing Chapel, Fair and Keep, Catacombs are all going to be around soul level 40 +4, like what I have here. Central Irithyll, Pontiff, Irithyll Dungeon are going to be more around soul level 60. Lothric Castle, in my experience, is best at soul level 70 +8. Grand Archives, Ashes of Ariandel, Kiln of the First Flame are going to be about soul level 80 +10. The Dreg Heap at the beginning of Ring City is going to be soul level 90 +10. Ring City itself is going to be soul level 95 +10. And then you have meta level, which is soul level 120 to 130. That's typically where people finish their builds and you don't level up anymore. There are a couple levels though that are semi-active past that. Hybrid level is what I call it at soul level 150. Those are going to be builds that are typically focused on heavy investment into melee and spell casting. Then you have max level is going to be kind of the next big tier you'd see, and that's soul level 801. I do not play at hybrid level or max level. In fact, I've never really played at them at all. I don't think I would like it from the gameplay I've seen. A lot of the builds are kind of the same, especially max level. Going back to what I said earlier, where your weapon level matters for your matchmaking. So there are unique and boss weapons in the game that only go up to +5, and every level you put into that is equivalent to 2 of I guess we'll call it a standard weapon. And the matchmaking levels, if you level up your weapon past your desired matchmaking level, like if you want to match at +4 and you level up a weapon to +5, you're forever going to be matched at +5. There's no way to change it besides making an entire new build. All right, but what level matches with what? +0, or a non-leveled up weapon at all, matches with +1. Remember, we're going by standard weapons, not unique or boss weapons. +1 matches with +0 and +2. +2 matches with +1 and +3. +3 matches with +2 and +4. +4 matches with +3 and up to +6. +5 matches down to +4 and up to +7. +6 matches down to +4 and up to +8. +7 matches down to +5 and up to +9. +8 matches down to +6 and up to +10. +9 match down to +7 and up to +10. +10 would match down to +8. So for the short run, most of in the earlier levels, it only matches up or down by 1, and then as you get to +4, it starts matching up by 2, and +6, it'll match down by 2. Now, when you're making a build, a lot of people don't understand at first where their level investment should go. When you're at low levels, I personally recommend looking for investing in Vigor. If you really need damage, looking at Raw, Fire, or Dark are totally viable. And by low level, I mean like 20 to 30. Getting to more of mid-level, like 40 to 60, I think it's usually better to go with Infusion. Sometimes the Raw, Fire, and Dark are still, or Dark, I mean Deep, excuse me, Deep Infusion. I think that those are still viable on some of those builds, but typically I choose to go with an infusion. When you get to a more high level, you're going to want investment across the board for damage, for endurance, as well as vigor for health. There are some soft caps, and it does depend on the weapon, what your scaling is going to be like. Sometimes I'll go use the weapon AR calculator on Souls Planner. That's really good to know kind of what you're going to get out of your investment. But in general, physical and dexterity cap at 40. Uh, Now, dexterity is kind of a unique breed, though. A lot of weapons get extremely good scaling with dexterity, and it can be well worth it to go past 40. When you look at more like a dark/chaos build, which are going to scale with intelligence and faith, that's going to be 30/30, 30 intelligence, 30 faith. That's a pretty strong cap on there, and I haven't really found a reason to ever go past that. Some things the scaling is a little bit more concrete for. One of those would be endurance. I would never ever recommend upgrading past 40 endurance ever. The return is just awful. I believe at some points you go 10 levels without any increase in your endurance at all. If you get to 40 and you need a little bit more endurance, you would look at something like the Ring of Favor, which would increase your endurance across the board. Spellcasting also is is a pretty good soft cap at 60. There's there's moderate returns past that, but that's the soft cap. Uh, Even looking back on what I said about physical soft cap at say 40 for strength or 40 for dexterity, there's some return past those, especially depending on the scaling itself. You can look it up, but it's not so simple. Like an S scaling can vary wildly in how good it is. Sometimes I like to call it S++ scaling, like for example, on the Astora Greatsword or the Marakumo. Dexterity scaling on a sharp infusion on that is just far superior to anything else. Hopefully that gave you some information as to how matchmaking works, what level weapon you should have, and where your stats should be invested. Feel free to leave a comment, or I'm active on Reddit. I will post this on Reddit too. I got some comments there as well. And maybe I can help you. Maybe you can give me some ideas for what I should do in the next part of the series. Thank you.